is up, guys? DT Ninja here to bring you my RuroKen Hokkaido Arc Chapter 9 and 10 review and discussion. Yo, yes guys, the Hokkaido Arc. Finally, I'm back from my vacation, so now I'm here to, talk about some Kenshin. Now, first things first, the new volume has been released. It released yesterday, so definitely I will be picking that up. I actually pre-ordered it already, so that'll probably be here in like a week or so. But the new one looks like it's in ice. So like literally you got Kaoru here and then Kenshin's like blue, representing the ice, the coldness of the Hokkaido Arc. Now, obviously Hokkaido is known as the frozen land, and that's why that volume is like that. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed my intro at the beginning because I spent a while on that. A lot of color scans were done by Chris JP20. I wanted to give him a shout out. Really awesome stuff. Check his stuff out on DeviantArt. He's got a lot of cool stuff on there. Yeah. And also Double O God, I used one of his scans. And obviously Nobuhiro Watsuki, the author and the illustrator. So anyways, let's get to the review and the discussion. Yeah. Oh, and one more thing. Chapter 12 has been released, so I'm currently translating that. I'm working on that, so once I finish this, I will be posting it on DT Ninja 831, my Facebook page. So Chapter 12 will be released in a few days, I hope. So let's get to the chapter. Chapter 9, we have not done a chapter review in a while. So Chapter 9 is at Kabato Prison, right? Kabato Prison has been attacked. It's on fire. Suddenly it's been attacked. Well, there are some things that I noticed throughout this chapter that I wanted to point out. So first things first, you know that this prison is known for having a samurai, a former samurai of the Shinsengumi actually in it, and he is teaching the prison guards kendo, and he's a kendo master. And we learn about him in this chapter, Yoshie Sugimura. Well, this name used to be Nakakura Shinpachi. So actually he was a Shinsengumi member like Hajime Saito. So that is interesting. But the thing I noticed is that the guards, they don't really display any skills in kendo when this attack is happening. I don't know if it's just they have guns. That's obvious. That's a normal weapon. But I figured that since he was at that prison employed, teaching them kendo, I thought we would actually see some sword fighting, maybe not, a sword, but, a shinai against whatever this Kinkaku Heiki group, the attack squad, would fight against them. So that was a little disappointing on that. I noticed that a little bit, so I wanted to point that out. That was just something that I noticed. The next thing, the bizarre nature of each of the member for the attack squad for Kinkaku Heiki. What I mean by bizarre is that each member has this different look. Now, they're supposed to look different, but what one is like on stilts. I call him Stilts Man, okay? He's literally on stilts. He's up in the air. And I'm like, what in the hell? Like, it's really funny when you look at it. But then you notice he's got these spears. He's got like these spears he uses like as swords. So, I mean, he's very effective, and you see his like acrobatic nature. He's like killing these guards, breaking their guns in half. It's like, it's pretty crazy. So yeah, anyways, that was something I noticed, the bizarre nature of each member. Like I said, Stilts Man, he's got some crazy acrobatics. I named each guy. There's the Ninja Rocket Man. Okay, literally, he has a mask, okay? That's why I call him Ninja. And then he proceeds to shoot this missile, and they call it the Star Missile. And it shows this huge explosion. So Anyways, pretty crazy stuff. And then I call Stealth Four Eyes, okay? This guy doesn't seem to be a very sinister character. He doesn't seem to be very dangerous when you look at him. He has glasses, okay? He's got a hood over his head like most of them. And then, what's interesting is one of the guards, he's like, okay, here's my chance. He's right there. So he decides to shoot him. And this guy has a short sword. Okay, I mean, this thing is short. And he doesn't even turn around. He literally moves like this and catches the bullet like this. It's crazy. He's got some crazy reflexes. And it's like a sweeping motion. And he catches the bullet. And it literally is sitting there. So he like catches it. It's like, whoa. It's like, I did not expect that at all. So that was freaking crazy. That was awesome. And then another thing. He says, and the bullet hits the guy, by the way. And then he's like, don't worry. I mean, this is a villain. We're like, don't worry. I missed your vitals. And I'm like, what? It's like, when was the last time you heard a villain say, don't worry? You know, so that was very interesting. It's almost like he's in it for a certain reason. He's got these skills, but he doesn't really want to kill people. So that is very interesting about his character. We're going to get to more on that. The next member, he is the leader, okay? The leader of the attack squad for Kinkaku Heki at Kabato Prison. This guy looks like the sinister guy. This guy is covered in, you know, the hood as well. You see like his eyes. And then suddenly he's like, you know things are going to go down. Because he like steps in the battlefield. It is a battlefield, basically. He steps on the prison outside. And he puts his hands together like he's praying. And then suddenly he like releases some energy. And it just like... everything just goes, it's like wind going flying everywhere and some crazy power being displayed there. So that was really interesting. So like I said, each member displays some kind of interesting but bizarre nature. So very interesting stuff. And another thing, the only member that I saw that has an actual samurai sword was the leader. I call him Zen Man or Zen leader because he's like the Buddhist, you know, he put his hands together like he's praying. So anyways, that's the guy who actually had a long sword on, you know, strapped to his waist. So that was very interesting. Now, the next thing, there is a samurai that is mentioned that I said, Sugimura, right? He, it is shown. He shows his actual face. Well, not his face, but it shows his character, and we see like his clothing. You see like this medicine pack, and the first thing I'm thinking is like, okay, that's Sojiro. Maybe it's Sojiro because he's got the same kind of pack that Sojiro had when he left for, you know, wandering. So that was interesting. But the difference is he has this hat over his head, and I've never seen Sojiro wearing a hat. But remember, that's what Kenshin was wearing when he arrived in Tokyo. He had that hat on, so just to hide his face. So, but yeah, very interesting stuff. And obviously, we see the wall being destroyed. So we know Anji has been released. He's been taken away with Sugimura. So that's very interesting. And they're heading towards Hakodate. So those are the things I noticed. And also Kenshin, he mentions that whatever Kinkaku Heki is planning, we're going to stop you. He doesn't say, I'm going to stop you. This time, he's relying on the others. And he has to, because you know his stamina is not as good as it used to be. So he definitely has to rely on his friends, his comrades, the rivals, the ones from the Bakamatsu that are coming back. Obviously, Saito we've seen in action against one of the leaders of the Hakodate squad. So But yeah, anyway, Byakuya, that's the name I was trying to mention. But yeah, so very interesting stuff. So I have some discussion questions for Chapter 9 that I want to discuss. Who is the mysterious Higo? Okay, so the glasses man, okay, Four Eyes, the stealth Four Eyes, that's one of the members, the guy, he's very interesting. Who is this mysterious Higo? So he mentions the name Higo, so I'm assuming that the guy who is praying, or looked like he was praying, you know, when he attacked everyone at the prison, the one who announced, all of you prisoners are free, so, you know, the prison break, that guy is Higo, so that's his name. But who is he? Where did he come from? What kind of skills does he have? We don't know. But it's very interesting, this guy, because he is a swordsman. And like I said, the other members don't really seem to be the same kind of... But you can definitely see that these combat experiments are going to continue. And we're going to see more of their skills as they do. So... anyways, okay, why did the Stealth Four Eyes member, we're going back to that guy, why did he spare the guard? What was the reason for doing so? Okay, he shot the guy, okay, the bullet grazed him, but he could have killed him, right? I mean, if he wanted to, he could have killed him. Why did he spare him? And why did he join Kinkaku Heki? What is the reason behind it? Because after he mentions to Higo, you know, he basically is one step ahead of everyone, is what he's saying. He's one step ahead. He's one step ahead. And then he's like, can I go home? I have a family. If I wait too long, they will get worried. It's like, whoa, okay, this guy's very interesting. He's not like the others. He has, you know, it's not like he has agenda. I mean, maybe there's a specific reason he joined for them. Is he not, does he really want to kill people? That's another thing. So very interesting stuff about this guy. And like I said, he's very skilled. We saw him stop a bullet, you know, with that one motion, sweeping motion. So very interesting stuff. Also, we see... we see the glasses, the Four Eyes member. I call him Stealth Four Eyes because he's very, moving with such stealth. He actually has this lantern, okay, and he holds it up with his little sword, and he's actually communicating with the other members of Kinkaku Heki. Preparations are ready. It's like, whoa, okay, so like he's motioning to the other guy, and I was like, whoa, this is very interesting stuff. So it's like they're communicating without even talking. So very, very interesting stuff. Like I said, this member definitely has something to him. So I'm very interested to see what that is. But what do you guys think? What do you think the reason he joined? If he's not, willing to kill people, he wants to protect Japan just like the rest of Kinkaku Heki. But what, to what degree will he go to? It seems like he's more merciful than the other members. He obviously spared the guard. So, anyways, next question. This is the last one for Chapter 9. How did Yoshie Sugimura, or aka Nakakura Shinpachi, know that Kinkaku Heki would attack the prison? Because we see that he is actually not there. He's not there. We see him later, but he actually left the night before they attacked. So it's like, whoa, he knew they were going to attack. How did he know? What tipped him off? What was the reason? And why did he take Anji Yakuza? Why did he take the fallen monk Anji with him? Is it just for protection? Or is there another reason? He's planning to get some allies together, maybe see his former comrade Hajime Saito. Very interesting stuff how this story is progressing. I love how Watsuki is bringing things of the past and putting them into perspective and moving forward and still making sense of everything. And also the mystery. There's a lot of mystery throughout these chapters. So very good stuff. So that's chapter 9, guys. Oh, and by the way, there are some really cool color scans that I want to share with you before we go to chapter 10. So take a look at these. Alright, guys. So that's just a little collage that I put together, and my friend Chris JP20, he colored for me. It shows the attack squad there. It shows Byakuya and Kenshin at a standstill at Goryokaku Fortress. Very good stuff. So yeah, I just want to share that with you guys. Okay, chapter 10. So moving right along. Okay, the first thing I noticed in chapter 10 is that Aran knows a lot about Hokkaido. He knows a lot. He's very knowledgeable. He's very smart, right? They're sitting down, they're eating together, Ashitaro and him, squid, right? And they're like, okay, we're gonna find her. We start thinking about her character. They start thinking about her personality, what kind of person she is. And through knowing what clothes she wears, knowing her habits, this guy, Aran, figures out exactly where she is. It's like he's a detective. So that was very interesting, and it's kind of funny. I mean, literally within 5 minutes, I don't know if it's 5 minutes, but when you're reading, it's like 5 minutes. So it's like, whoa, okay, they go to this, he's like, there's only one place she could be, and she's exactly there. She's just standing there, looking at the pretty lights, glittering, and, they find her. So they're like, okay, let's get her. So obviously, Ashitaro is the one who has to go after her, because Aran is not really a fighter. He's not skilled in fighting, or even chasing after her, right? So Aran finds her, and Ashitaro has to kind of grab her, but she doesn't want to go back. Right? Okay, the next thing I noticed is that Asahi is terrified of something, okay? She's very apprehensive. She doesn't want to go with them. She's like, let me go. You don't have to worry about me. And Aran is like, but you're a member of the Kamiya Dojo. And it's true. She became a member of Kamiya Dojo. It's like their family. So it's very interesting. And I can understand Aran and Ashitaro really want her to come back, because they kind of relate to each other. These guys have been on their own. They don't have anybody out there for them. So they are family in a way. So very interesting stuff. You can definitely tell that something has been told to her that she just doesn't want to accept that things have changed. Okay? It's been so long since the revolution, but she still refuses to believe that Kenshin has changed. So that was very shocking in a way. But if you go back to the first chapter, even before that, okay, go back to chapter 2 of Ashitaro's story, the prologue. Okay, remember when Kenshin stopped Ashitaro from killing the villain? The first thing we see is Asahi, and she notices the scar on Kenshin's face. Okay, I'm gonna show you right now. Okay, here's the part where Kenshin comes in and protects, and saves him from killing the guy. And then up here, you can see Asahi right here. And you can see her scared look right there. And she says, a cross-shaped scar, the Batosai. So even here, this far back, she is terrified of Kenshin. So very interesting, but also shocking to see that is the person that she's running after. She's she's running from Kenshin, of all people. That is crazy. But yeah, you can definitely tell that she's been traumatized as a child. It is revealed that the Yami Nobu, yes, the Yami Nobu is the group she grew up in. She was born within that group. All right, guys. So Asahi's been told many stories about the Batosai, and you can definitely tell they are not flattering. These stories have traumatized this poor girl. I mean, just look at this chapter and you can definitely see that her mind, the fear in her eyes when she thinks about the Batosai, it's like she doesn't want to believe that Kenshin could be this kind, forgiving soul. She doesn't want to believe that he's very, protective. And basically, I think the Yami Nobu members that raised her probably told her that he is a merciless killer. He killed his own wife in cold blood. She mentions this. And we all know that's not what happened. We all know there's a different perspective, right? It's like if you saw, from Inishi's perspective, he seems like a merciless killer, right? But from, Tatsumi's perspective, the guy who's fighting Kenshin, oh my god, this girl is actually protecting him? So you definitely can see that she's only been told one side of the story, and most of it is very unflattering things that are going to put fear in the eyes of a little girl. So you can definitely see that. Now, the Yami Nobu and the Kinkaku Heki, they make a pact in this chapter. It's very interesting. We even get a little battle there. We have Sako and he's walking along, and then suddenly, Rockman, Doi, he just comes out of nowhere and starts attacking him. And then, what's his face? Gongu is there, and he's fighting him as well. So we definitely see this pact being formed, but also I like how, it's a little standoffish and they're fighting as well. So we get to see a little bit of their abilities. Good stuff. But the old woman, that has to be one of the surviving members from the Bakamatsu. That old woman has so much influence because she is getting gold dust. This is like payment from Kinkaku Heki to join, whatever they're doing. And she definitely has influence within this group. So it's very interesting to see her. She's definitely a sinister one. She even says Sako something about her own member. So very interesting stuff. Going back to Asahi, Ashitaro and Aran accept Kenshin for who he is now. They don't want to go into the past and bring up things like this. And that was very interesting to see the difference between how Ashitaro and Aran accept Kenshin and how Asahi is not accepting him. Okay, the next thing. Sano realizes Kenshin could be at his last, on his last legs. Now, he mentions that Kenshin and Kaoru have become, husband and wife. They understand each other very well. You can definitely see that in the way they interact and how they accept each other for who they are. And it's very interesting. But it also says, Sano, are you prepared for what's about to happen, Kenshin? So we know there's a big battle coming, and will Kenshin be able to outlast, his body, because he has only so much stamina. He's very strong, but he doesn't have the stamina he used to. So he mentions that they should call Megumi back, and that was interesting. And we're going to get to that in the discussion questions. Okay, guys. Discussion question number 1. Is it possible that Asahi is distantly related to Tatsumi? Tatsumi was the leader, the former leader of the Yaminobu. Now, the Yaminobu are the Shadow Warriors. And in this chapter, we learn that Asahi is a member of the Yaminobu because she was raised into the group itself. Is it possible that she is related to the former leader of the Yaminobu? And if that is the case, that would make sense why she has this traumatization and also why she's fearful, because Kenshin was the one who killed him. Remember? And let me show you that scan what I'm talking about. So take a look. Alright guys, so in this chapter, it shows that flashback with him, and she says he killed his wife in cold blood, but obviously we know that's not the case. Tomo protected Kenshin. Kenshin was blinded, and he ended up slicing her and Tatsumi all together. Is it possible that guy had a great-great-granddaughter in the name of Asahi? That is what I'm getting at here. Is it possible that she is part of the Yaminobu because of that? That would be very interesting if that is the case, because we know that she's fearful of Kenshin, because if he finds out that she is of the Yaminobu, she thinks she'll be killed. She actually believes that she'll be killed. And obviously that will never happen, but that is how much trauma she has had from learning about the Batosai. So, but yeah, interesting stuff if that is the case. Or another member. It doesn't have to be Tatsumi. That old woman is definitely one of her guardians. Who is that old woman? I want to know who that is. Yeah. Okay, next thing. Why doesn't Asahi just tell Kenshin the truth? Why doesn't she just tell her the story? Why doesn't she do it? It's obviously the trauma, right? The trauma going back to, it even shows in chapter, I think it's 4 or 5, that the Batosai is our greatest enemy. And that was another reason why it's Yaminobu, because they are, Kenshin's greatest enemy was the Yaminobu, and vice versa. Back in the Bakamatsu. So, but it goes back to that, right? If he finds out that she's in that group, she believes that she'll be killed. That's why she doesn't want to tell. It's kind of silly when you think about it, but when you really think deep about it, when she was a young girl, they told her these stories. They told her that he's a merciless killer, that he killed his wife. Don't ever come in contact with this guy because he'll kill you. Or if you do, run away. And that's probably why she's running. So, but yeah, you can definitely see that. But like I said before, I really like how Ashitaro and Aran are shown, and how they are very accepting of Kenshin and, his past. They accept his past and who he is and how he's got to this point. So the last question, once Megumi arrives in Hakodate, will she be accepting of Kenshin fighting in this big battle? Obviously, Kaoru accepts Kenshin being able to fight, that's just something he will do. He has the Sakabato, he's going to keep wielding, he's going to keep fighting, and Sano came to grips with this in this chapter. He mentions how he entrusted the Sakabato to Yaiko, and now it's come back to him. So it's like it's a course, and he's going to keep fighting and keep fighting. And Kaoru's very accepting of it. Sano's a little worried. He's like, "Are you prepared for what's to come?" It's almost like this could be the final fight, the final time that you use your sword. I don't want to believe that. Obviously, his comrades, some of his rivals are going to come and help him. But when it comes to Megumi, she has this feeling that Kenshin could really injure himself to the point where, you know, it could be really bad. And I wonder, will she accept, you know, him going into battle again? And another thing, will she finally show some feelings towards Sano? Obviously, everyone's been waiting for that for that to actually happen. It's, you know, there's been parts here and there, but to finally see them, you know, together, that would be really great. So, but like I said, Megumi arriving, will she be able to accept the fact that Kenshin has to fight again, and she has to heal his wounds before he goes into battle, and the fear that he might not return? That's what I'm wondering, and that's why I think that it's very vital for her to accept it and, you know, move on. You know, not only her feelings towards Kenshin, but, you know, show something towards Sano that may help in the end. So, but yeah, that's been my review and discussion, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will get to work on Chapter 12. It just released actually yesterday, last night, so I'm gonna get to work on that. The Chapter 11 is in the description. I'll put all the chapters. I'll put Chapter 1 to Chapter 11 in the description so you guys can check out my archives. Yeah, so definitely check out my Facebook for more updates on the latest chapter. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.